All right, good evening, everybody. Just for at least another half an hour until it's morning again. Welcome to NGS Season 7. We're going to have a Div A game for you tonight between Sky5 and Wipe Them Again. Today, however, have a special guest star. Tootie's joining us tonight.
Hello.
Welcome to the late night cast here, Tootie.
It's not so late for me. I still have 1.5 hours until it's morning again.
All right, good evening, everybody.
Yeah.
Just for at least another half an hour until it's
Maybe I should send you over some Red Bull or something.
Right. So it's entirely possible that people in 30 seconds are going to hear me over myself for a second there, because I had apparently the stream open with sound. So I apologize for anybody that had to listen to me twice. But that has been fixed. So tonight, we're going to be checking out two teams here that both won their matches last week. And Tootie, you were looking up some of the details. Do you have anything you want to talk about from those matches at all?
Yeah, sure. So Sky5, they got the reverse sweep on the round 1. Let me quickly bring it up against Few Loose Screws. So they currently have 2 points because of the way the point system works, right? And
right.
Wipe Them Again. Great name, by the way. They went for the straight 2-0 against Wholesome Halfwits. And yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. Are we allowed to talk about maps already, or?
Yeah, by all means. I
All
haven't
right,
put it up
so,
yet, but I'll do that as you're talking.
Sky5 and Wipe Them Again, they won on Infernal Shrines, and Sky5 with a map pick tonight, the first map pick, they go to Infernal Shrines. So both teams had good experience here on this map, and this will be our first map already. So one of them has to lose now on this favorite.
And for some reason, the map page is not loading, so I'll have to see if I can get that to fix in just a moment. But yeah,
streamer strings. So I can tell more about the maps then. So Sky5, they banned out Dragonshire first, Wipe Them Again outside with Battlefield of Eternity. Sky5, Towers of Doom ban, and Wipe Them Again, they banned out Cursed Hollow, which was the second map Sky5 won against in their reverse sweep last round. So that ban makes a lot of sense. And also I noticed like the banning process was super quick between both of these teams. Like they knew exactly what they did not want to play against the other team.
Yeah, there was no hesitation about where they wanted to ban. It took a few moments for them to decide where they wanted to play.
Yeah. but the map bans, they had been over literally in 2 seconds.
Right. We popped in, let somebody else steal our lobby, and then we were done. So
are we already going?
Yeah, there we go. So let's go ahead and hop over into the draft. So
something I noticed, looking a little bit at the last matches, is that Sky5 likes to play some Morganas, and they like to play it as a main tank. Which is something which catch my eye. It's not like super common, I think. I mean, maybe things are different in Division A, but at least where I play around, Morganas is not considered a main tank. I don't know, how's it going for you, Aero?
I have difficulty playing Mal'Ganis as a main tank. I played him a fair bit at the beginning when he first came out, and was pretty much OP, and then I put him away. And
this is exactly my story. Like, okay, he was pretty fun. Now he's kind of crap, and never touched him.
Now that being said, he did get some adjustments to his felt clause, and welcome everybody from Dead Latin's stream. Just getting started here on the first game.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So so I don't know. I mean, Mal'Ganis. There was Fan, I think it was saying that Mal'Ganis has become kind of between good and great with these changes. So, maybe he's a tank that's worth getting used to.
Maybe he's sleeper tank. Maybe I should check him out again.
Right. So we've got Anna and Mephisto as the first bans. And I got to tell you, we were talking earlier, and I was like, you know what? I just don't remember that much about that match that you were talking about. I tell you what I do remember is the Mephisto play that made the highlight of the week.
Oh.
Yeah. On Infernal Shrines, and it was absolutely disgusting, and it was the kind of play where you think that you're going in, you've got your whole team there, you're invading a camp, you're pushing them back, and then you just all die. And you're left going, what just happened? And I think that might have been where the Abathur was.
And I think these are two very well scouted bands here, like you said, with Mephisto. Again, they played him in both games in the last round, and pretty effectively as it seems. And also the Abathur band, like, you might think, like, wait, what on Infernal Shrine? But this is actually what White again did on Infernal Shrines last round, so...
Yeah, and like I said, I didn't remember it, but as soon as I saw the Mephisto, I remembered, because at the time it seemed like kind of a strange comp that they built for the Abathur, and then it just all came online, and it was just instant destruction.
And the Stukov, I think it's the healer of choice for Sky5. Played him twice last round. Won one of the games. The other one was the loss, but it seems to be a favorite here for Goliath.
Oh, I didn't do the thing. See, that's why I told you to remind me to do the thing. Now,
do the thing.
Zarya did get picked on this map with the Mephisto Abathur, if I remember correctly.
So yeah, he was picked twice by Vipem again last round. So I have it all here. This is so cool to be co-caster. You can just look at stats all day long. You don't have to worry about anything else.
Right. Well, so I just popped up the Mephisto stats. It is clearly wrong because it says 000, and I was there. I have the receipts. Damn it, Heroes Profile. Maybe somebody didn't post the replays. No, of course they post the replays.
Alright, so here comes the Orphea ban. I think the target of these bans is Sovereign on the side of Vipem again. Like, he doesn't get his Mephisto, he doesn't get his Orphea, which I guess is the second favorite here.
I seem to recall them banning out Orphea last week as well, so not a big surprise there.
Jaina and Johanna coming out now.
So they've got good wave clear, they've got the silence control from Stukov, and then of course Johanna to pull everybody together, so
yeah.
Pretty good with the shrines, and then Sylvanas to provide that extra win harder value, so...
Yeah, so everything on the side of Sky5 screams get objective and get a lot of value from it so far. Oh, Chromie is coming out! Here we go!
Well,
what's happening?
Okay.
I don't even remember that was the last time I saw Chromie in a competitive game, but okay.
Yeah, certainly, you know, none of the casts that I had last week had a Chromie, but there were a lot of games.
Yeah, you did a lot of casts.
Let's see.
And the Ragnars for
yeah.
counter the objective, basically. And there comes the Tracer.
So, not necessarily traditional in having a solo laner there. They don't have like a strong bruiser. They just have the Johanna for the front line.
Just a triple damage coming out here. So who do you think will be the solo laning?
I don't know. Maybe Jaina. Because I don't feel like Sylvanas. Like, I don't feel like you want to put Sylvanas in the lane to solo because you lose most of the value of having Sylvanas. And I feel like she's going to be better for taking camps if they want to take camps anyway. So I feel like Jaina's probably the best option from what they've got there.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Monkus in chat saying, is Tracer the offlane? Oh, hey, thanks, Dead Latin. I'll get that fixed.
I mean, it wouldn't... Like, if Zarya wouldn't be the counterpart on the other team, I would totally put, like, Tracer against some melee bruiser thing, like, against the Dehaka or whatever, like, sure, why not? I mean, what's gonna happen? Tracer's not gonna die. So,
Right? Maybe a Leoric.
I mean, she will not win the lane, she will not push, but she will definitely get the soak
Right.
without dying, and that's all you need.
Alright, so let's see if I can find your screen. Is that you?
I don't know, I'm looking currently at Johanna and zooming in on the blue team.
Okay, so now I'm definitely on you. We'll see if it works. All right, let me introduce the blue team. We've got Quan Finnegan on Sylvanas, Apple Mike on Tracer, Furl on Jaina, Goliath on Stukov, and Spoticus on Johanna for Sky5.
And in the red, it is Zero on Diablo, Sovereign on Chromie, Loftart on Ragnaros, what's that? Kuroha on Lucio, and Hound of Havoc on the Zarya. Right.
All right, so we do see the E build that Monkus wanted to see for Rag. And Zero Diablo going in deep already right out of the gate here, charging it onto Jaina, and it looks like Zarya going offline. But we do get a kill in the top lane.
Ragnaros finds his grave here against the little tiny gank here by Tracer coming into the offlane. Helping out with the runners. Who seems to be the offlaner. Maybe there is no traditional offlaner at all.
Yeah,
but traditionally in any case, but
yeah, it looks like they do have the Tracer up in the solo lane, so fair enough. Interesting. We did see earlier that Hound of Havoc went offline, but it doesn't look like it's a Zarya name right now, so it must be back, I guess.
Yeah. And actually, we see Ragnaros in the top lane, and I think this is a okay matchup for Tracer. I mean, as I said, she will not like push in, but oh my, unless this kind of thing happens, she should not die at least.
Right? Holy cow!
So you guys spoke too soon.
Yeah, and Furl, they're gonna get caught in the bot lane by the Diablo charge, and ultimately gonna get taken out as well. So 1-for-1 kills.
1-for-1 kills. Both teams seem a little bit nervous here in the very beginnings. People are being caught out a little bit, getting killed in odd situations. But let's see how it evolves. Both teams basically pretty even in experience.
Yeah, we do see Rag is going to get started on their Shaman camp, and of course 2:30 is when that's going to be coming up here. And Tracer coming over here. This could be a very easy kill, and this Shaman camp is so low that Tracer can likely even take it now. With everybody on the other half of the map.
Tracer gets that easily. And in the meantime, kills happening in the bot lane too. Sky5 making some plays here, 4-1 kills, getting the Zarya as a bonus as well. And now it's looking pretty good for them. Camps pushing in all lanes.
And getting that camp invade now, as there was no real pressure, just the Chromie Lucio here from Wipe Them Again. For a moment there, up 2 levels, now of course just the 1, but they'll be getting to 7 around the time that they finish the Punisher.
Yeah. I mean, this is looking really good for Sky5 right now. It is their map pick, but still, I mean, this Tracer invade on the camp, that's a call which requires some balls to take, and it totally paid off for them.
Yeah, for sure. And there's not a whole lot that Wipe Them Again can do at this point other than bring the Ragnaros down and use that Molten Core to defend against this Arcane Punisher.
Here comes the Punisher. It's an Arcane one. So the Punisher got remodeled a lot, so it is doing more structure damage.
And we've got a 5-man defense here.
Yep. And it's also a 5-man push, so I guess that makes a lot of sense to do it like this.
Yeah, and especially with the Sylvanas, that gives them the push into that tower. And Ragnaros did not use Molten Core.
He did not. He is in the mid lane right now, so he split off for some extra soak.
Yeah, trying to catch most of level 7.
This first objective gives a lot of value for Sky5.
Apple Mike on the hunt for Love Dart again. But he made it out probably just in time, because those blinks coming out from Tracer might have been able to catch up to the Ragnaros.
Yeah.
No MC. Yeah, no MC. No Molten Core, yeah. And look
we
at
do
these
have
two at
a
the top! Just hanging out in those bushes.
We also see the Spatial Echo on Tracer getting these resets on her playing when she confirms to kill. I think it's a little bit harder to get value from it in organized play because you get less kills. I mean, it's certainly not your quick match fiesta.
Right.
But it's basically like a mini recall. And look at Apple Mike just going after with Lucio, but it is Diablo who falls here.
And Lucio getting out there away from the Tracer, but also had the temporal loop onto Tracer to pull her back.
Yeah, that was a very interesting play by the Chromie, basically peeling for the healer.
Right.
Not the kind of use you want to see for your temporal loop.
Right. But you know what? If it saves the healer's life, then so be it. But of course, the pressure from Tracer onto Lucio prevented Lucio to do any healing to Diablo, and of course, then allowed them to secure that kill.
And Sky5 with a full level lead here now, locking in level 10s.
So what do we have here? We've got the Flailing Swipe, the Ring of Frost, Blessed Shield, Tracer going into that Quantum Spike for the additional damage, and Wailing Arrow for Sylvanas.
Yeah. Sylvanas was holding for a little bit. I was hoping maybe we're gonna see a mind control here.
Ring of Frost doesn't manage to land on anybody, but they do get the Zarya kill anyway.
They do, and they're gonna continue with this 40 here. So Sylvanas shows her pushing powers. Molten Core is coming out, however. This might be counter-engage. Level 10s are being locked in as you speak.
And here comes that lava wave right through the middle.
He would have probably loved to be in that Molten Core a little bit longer. Maybe put out another stun, everybody sitting in the lava wave. That would have been a nice big damage chunk on the entire enemy team.
And not that long ago, we did see another Nexus Edge highlight with exactly that on Cursed Hollow.
And you know, Graviton Surge is locked in on Zarya. Like, if she keeps people in place with that, maybe you get a big value there.
Could happen. We'll see how that goes. As the Punisher, Mortar Punisher, getting started here by Wipe Them again. And Ragnar's just completing his level 4 quest for that armor and constant health increase.
So Viper again on the back foot here. They need to make something happen. Here comes the Sound Barrier and Ring of Frost cancelling out each other. Jaina falls, but Ragnaros is dead too. 1-for-1 trade so far.
Stukov using that Flailing Swipe as a disengage, but the flip onto Johanna keeps her back in the group. Might be able to make it out. It looks like she's fine. And of course, Sylvanas getting pushed away up at the top as well. So yeah. 33 skeletal defenders for Wipe Them again. Getting very close on that number.
This objective is going to go into their own hands here, and let's see what they can do with this one.
Yeah, and this is a lot like what happened last week, around the time of the second Punisher. Once they had their ultimates, Wipe Them again made a couple of plays and then just ran away with it. So, you know, even though Sky5 had very strong early game pressure, they cannot get overconfident here against this team, or they'll find themselves with a lot of reverse structure damage. They're up 2 forts so far, but
absolutely, this game is far from over, and Sylvanas is getting chunked.
Yeah, that Punisher, those mortar shots are no joke anymore.
Yeah, they had been a joke before for sure.
And we
but they are not.
we did see the Rag kill there with the Stukov and Tracer. By the way, I had to I couldn't get it to stay locked on your camera, so I've been running my own, just so you know.
Yeah, I was a little bit confused here.
Yeah, sorry.
But I figured it out. And the camp invade, I like it here. Even with one man down, they still go for that one and they get it, but they pay for it. Lucio is falling immediately and Tracer on the chase.
And it's going to be Diablo here, isolated by the rest of Sky5. Ultimately, Tracer gets killed by Chromie there, and the temporal loop obliterating Jaina.
Oh, it's a 2-for-2 somehow. Somehow Viper again manages to trade out in this crazy fight, which we basically started 4v5 in that invade, and losing the first member in that fight too, but they do get 2 counter kills. And that's basically, I think that's a win in their books.
Yeah, that was absolutely crazy. So the only heroics available, Sound Barrier and Wailing Arrow now. We see Rag clearing up in the bot lane, and both teams looking to get their siege camp going. Tracer lost her stack. Wait, Tracer took stacks?
Well, oh yeah, she did. I didn't even see. Well, here we go.
Well, there's the Blessed Shield into the team, but with a big silence. Looks like
Oh,
maybe
this
2
is
kills on
big.
this. There they are, 3 kills as Lucio as well, and now Diablo trying to run away from Sylvanas. Ultimately does get away. They'll accept that 3-for-0 trade and clear up the camp right away.
Oh yeah. So Sky5 a big play here, the Ring of Frost and the Wailing Arrow hitting very hard on the enemy team. Zarya has left the game, so we might see a pause here.
We may. She's still dead for a few seconds, so...
It's the best time to disconnect.
I was gonna say, that's the time the AI doesn't screw you over, so... And now, with that Black Arrows coming from Sylvanas, she's gonna get the tower and the fort shut down. So this is gonna be another fort in favor of Sky5. And now Tracer has stacks. Indeed. How many stacks? 3, I assume? Yeah.
Man, silence, root, holy mother of God. Yeah, that was pretty sick on that camp.
So
13 to 4 kills.
Yeah, this is looking really good for Sky5 here. Jaina needs about 3,300 to finish her Ice Block quest.
They also like 2 forts off, they got the trickle XP in here in their favor, and of course we catapult pressure into lanes. I think at the moment nothing too much to worry about for Viper again, but it might become a deciding factor in the late game.
So 14 to 6 already for Sky5 to start. There's the Blessed Shield pulling him in, root onto the Ragnaros, and then followed up by the Ring of Frost. And it's looking like Kuroha may be the next death, and it is. Furl, though, on Jaina getting melted.
Getting below 200 hit points here on that Jaina. But she gets out, and Apple Mikey just has the time of his life. Chasing heroes away in that chaos. But look at Viper again, they don't care. They want this objective still, even though they are 3v5.
I feel that's questionable.
This might not go too well. They find themselves killed 2 more times. Diablo had souls, now he doesn't. So that's another 3 kills on the banks of Sky5. And I feel like that was avoidable.
Yeah, that unfortunately not a great circumstance for you to be in if you're wiped them again. I mean, it's not like they had great Shrine Clear to begin with those 3, but we knew exactly where they were. They didn't leave. They were right there. Yeah. And this is a frozen Punisher as well. They've got this Shaman camp. I mean, this is definitely a keep.
Yeah, so they did freeze the Punisher himself, sitting on 39 minions here and doubling down with the Shaman camp. Here comes the Lava Ray, however. So let's see how much survive of the Shaman. Actually quite a lot, so he's still pretty okay.
Yeah, the lava wave does minimal damage to anything other than the actual minion waves themselves. So, well, here we go. The wall melting. I guess it was frozen, but Sylvanas taking a lot of damage. Can't quite be up in front anymore.
First it melts when it first it freezes when it melts, right? Zarya immediately annihilated here. Molten Core is out, but will it do actually much? Sylvanas still super low. Ragnos is searching for the kill. Diablo is dead, however. At 3-0 so far. Molten Core is over. Everybody low on the side of Sky5, but Zukov should have no big issues healing that back up.
And the Punisher, about a third of its health here. There's still 20 to 30 seconds. You know, they've got Jaina, they've got Tracer. They could, and are in fact, going right onto the core here.
They do. Punisher is down. So now it all relies on the members of Sky5 to take down this core, and they are shredding it 60% already.
And this looks like it should be game here. Although Sylvanas taking a lot of damage using that Will of the Forsaken to get out. But ultimately it's going to be game number 1 going over to Sky5.
Sky5 with a 21 to 4 kills. Nix is saying that Rag is struggling.
Yeah, I mean, Ragnaros into a Tracer Sylvanas Jaina seems like it would be a little bit difficult to convert, you know, those kills, because you can't get to anybody, right? Sylvanas can Haunting Wave away, and Jaina can slow you, and Tracer can blink and recall. Like, what do you do with that? You hope you can hit Johanna, I guess?
Yeah.
So
Tracer good pick here for Sky5 in the end. Mike had a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah, 8 kills, only 1 death on Apple Mike there. The damage overall going over to Chromie on that. Sovereign doing so much damage, but you know, it doesn't matter if you do a lot of damage if you don't convert them to kills, and that requires the assistance of your team.
Probably all went into Johanna.
It may very well have. Alrighty. Well, let's go ahead and take a 2-minute break. I do want to shout out to Nix for the 100 bits with the Pog in chat. Thank you very much for that. And let's take 2 minutes to find out where we're going.
Absolutely.
When I was young, I lived a life of recklessness. In my selfishness, I inflicted pain and hurt those I cared for. I have learned many lessons in my struggles with doubt and fear. Balance and harmony are not easily attained. They must be fought for! But on my journey, I have learned another lesson. You do not have to fight alone.
Let's do this! Woohoo!
Alrighty, and we are back. Let me let everybody know where we are. Versus again.
So what was Viper against map choice, I guess?
Braxis's, yes. So that's where we're going next for everybody out there in Chatland who was not privy to that conversation. Is Braxis holdout? I did send that out, yeah? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay. Let's see if we can get somebody into this lobby at least so we can get the game going soon. So, I don't know who yet, but it sounds like we're going to have a substitution in for Wipe Them Again.
Interesting. So Wipe Them Again, they played on Braxis in round 1 and they won the game. Well, it seems like they have something prepared for this, or at least it's a map they feel comfortable on, and I think that's like almost always the right decision to do. Like if you are one game down, but you go on a map which you feel comfortable on. I value map pick actually very high if you are down in the series.
Yeah, you want to be on a place where you have camp timings kind of ingrained, where you're familiar with what kind of team comp you can build, and
yeah.
Braxis is it's a unique map compared to all of the other maps in the pool. 2-lane map. It has very much of a brawly feel as you go over the 2 control points constantly. And
yeah.
The objective, you always get something out of the objective. So even having
that's true.
Yeah, even having just some kind of wave clear is very important. And I'm trying to remember. Actually, I think you said that this was their map last week as well that they played on, and I recall the other team did not have any wave clear at all, and it turned very badly for them. It was like Greymane Genji or something, maybe. I don't remember.
They had Genji, yeah.
Yeah.
Rex in the solo lane, Sylvanas. So Sylvanas had some wave clear, but I mean you kind of have this vision, like maybe this memory of Sylvanas being super good wave clear, but sometimes I'm actually a little bit disappointed in her wave clear, especially early in the game.
Right. Let's see.
Like late game, it's amazing, but early game, it's not that great actually.
So it looks like we're subbing out Hound of Havoc for Own Dizzer.
Own Dizzer. Looks like someone got
Fair enough. All right. Well, it looks like we've got everybody in the lobby. I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Casters are ready.
Maybe you want to make yourself ref if you prefer.
Yeah, we can do that. That way we can say stuff to them. Let's see. Braxis, where dreams go to die. Yeah. That's fair. I do like I was really excited the first time I got to cast this map this season, and there was, I don't remember where it was. I was gonna cast and unfortunately couldn't cast or something like that, and came back later and they're like, oh yeah, we played Braxis, and I'm like, no, I wanted to cast that. But it seems to be coming up a fair bit. This is probably the 3rd or 4th Braxis that I've seen. Granted, one of them was this same team, so that's probably somewhat to be expected.
So if Sky5 stays true to their initial bans, we will probably see first ban Mephisto again here. I remember when we look at what Wipe Them Again played, it was also with Zarya and Anna, together with main tank Arthurs and Chen in the solo lane. So solo lane will be very interesting. There's a lot of good options here.
Oh, I still have Mephisto up from when we were last on this page. Yeah, so solo lane with Rexar. So saw some excitement between a Rexar and Chen. I don't recall if it was this matchup in the top lane, and Chen just bodied Rexar unbelievably well.
Oh, that's good. He needs a counter.
Right? Yeah, no, Chen works really well, because especially on this map, because you want to do something with the control point, whether you're holding it or just keeping it from the enemy, and so Misha isn't always there to act as that front line to protect you from Chen. And so if Rexar is not really far back, he just gets the flying kick to the face and then takes a bunch of damage. You do that a couple times, eventually you just die.
Indeed. And I think on Braxis, it's solo lane is so important. Like, he's important in other maps too, but on Braxis, like, he's instrumental. Like, if he doesn't at least compete for the point a decent amount of time, then you kind of cannot win Braxis anymore.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty rough if you're in the wait a minute. Fair enough. It's only a 30-second delay. They're stealing my strats. But anyways, yeah, I mean, if your Rexar is not in a position to be able to hold the top lane, and you're having to send somebody to help Rexar, what's the point?
Exactly. Well, the point is up there, but you then lose the bottom point in a 3v4, so that might be even worse, because there's more kill potential than in the enemy team. So, and they ban out the Chen and they get the Rexar themselves, so currently in this draft they are winning hard on the solo lane. Let's see what Viper again will pit against the Beastmaster.
So, I was kind of wondering, I don't know this. I haven't seen it in play. But I was kind of wondering if it isn't possible that the new or the updated Urel could go into a Rexar.
Okay. Maybe. I mean, she was always annoying on the point.
Monkus says that he thinks Rexar beats Chen. And maybe that's the case. I don't know. It did not look like that when I watched, but maybe the Rexar was bad.
So I like what Viper again is doing here. They pick the Stukov, and I think he was, yeah, like he's one of the favorites on the healing side, on the side of Sky5. So they pick that away from them. Apple Mike on the Rhaegar, so he was the Tracer in the last game, so we see some role swaps here.
Possibly they may just throw us off and do some character swaps at the end. I love when they do that. It really makes my Soothsayer go crazy.
Well, maybe just one guy was AFK, but they really wanted the Rhaegar, so somebody had to pick it.
Yep. So we do see that Orphea that was banned out last game going over to Sovereign, and so we'll see just how that turns out for him.
So this time we can show what's the deal with Orphea and him. Or her. Like, we don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Orphea, 23% pick rate, 43% win rate in Division A, so just interesting stats.
So we're looking to improve on that.
I'm sorry?
He's looking to improve on that.
Yeah, exactly. Making sure that, he counters out all those bad Orphea players, right? I mean, that's what I'm getting from
probably still better than me. Alright, here comes Jaina and Phoenix.
And that's a good combo to get your Purification Salvo if you go that.
If you go that.
On this map,
you'll see a lot of meme beams.
Yeah. And that
I'm
there's
actually
your
not a
instant
fan
wave
of
clear
it.
too.
But let's see how it goes.
Yeah. You said you're not a fan of it?
I'm not a fan of a meme beam on Brax's Hold Road.
Really?
No, I think it's a waste. Rather play for winning the objective than play than have a strategy for losing it.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
And the Diablo again. So
I do want to say something about that because you're not the first person I've heard say that. And the one thing I do want to say is that you don't. When you win the objective on Braxis, you still have to deal with some kind of enemy wave. And if you have Phoenix on your team, Phoenix, Ragnaros even, but is less, team fighty. But Phoenix allows you to basically obliterate the entirety of whatever minimal that they get and still push with your team as 5. And there's not really any other hero other than Ragnaros' Lava Wave that allows you to do that, right? To eliminate that whole other lane from existence. It makes it kind of like old Braxis. In a way.
okay, I give you that. I mean, I see the reasoning where I'm still not a fan of it. I would rather go and obliterate everybody in the enemy teams. And send our solo laner to do what has to be done without the nodes.
Right. Well, let's have you start off with your team this time.
Oh, my team?
Yep.
So it is Kuroa on the Diablo again, Sovereign on your own Dizer on the Stukov, swapped in here, Zero on the Cassier, and I think Imperius, he is in the solar lane, of course, it's Love Dart.
All right. And for Sky5, once I switch to the game page, we've got Rexar being played by Goliath. Garrosh is going to be Spoticus, Apple Mike on Rhaegar, Quan Finnegan on Phoenix, and Furl on Jaina. So Apple Mike did not swap off of the Rhaegar. Appreciate that.
So chat is saying here's Imperius to not win the lane against Goliath on the Rexar, but also to not lose it.
There you go.
I guess that's fair.
So we do see from Stukov there the Spine Launcher at level 1, giving him that ranged attack and the slow. That's going to help out the Orphea Qs to make sure that those are landing.
And advanced targeting on Phoenix. That is actually a talent I do like on Braxis. I think that's the much smarter way to wave clear that Zerg wave.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so, yeah, because like you get the extra circle and that's a lot of wave clear. I mean, if you want to, you can still top it off with your Planet Cracker, but I think the advanced targeting is a great talent on Braxis. That's my new view on it.
We do see the Diablo flip onto Rhaegar, who went charging in, but not getting any significant value there. I believe, I want to check. I think Rexar actually tapped. He did, yeah.
So, just because I have a bad memory, Diablo had been played by Viper again in the previous map too, right? It was not the other way around.
That's correct.
Alright. So, that's actually interesting. Do you think Diablo is a good pick here on Braxis? Will he get enough souls?
At level 4 you get a variety of talents that help you with the soul generation. Whether you get, like, generally speaking, it's the flames talent. So you can generate souls fairly quickly if you die, especially in these kind of narrow passageways. But I do see a lot of Diablo here because of the narrow areas and the brawling that takes place. So he's not my favorite tank, so that probably colors my perspective. Loads of damage going on to Garrosh though, as he gets a couple Groundbreaker
Phoenix in trouble.
But Quan Finnegan does warp away.
Man, it's just a teleport out here. Let's have a look into the top lane. Actually, Goliath As they go up here, immediately dies. Maybe in Sky5 doesn't want me to go up here again.
Yeah, just caught the tail of that, so...
Severin likes playing HOTS on hard mode.
Yeah, no doubt. Getting flipped right into the wall and obliterated right after that chat message there, so... Let me see if I can lock onto you again. 5, 6. Can't find you. I don't know why it's not working.
I will make circular motions so you can immediately identify me as...
Yeah, it's not working. I don't know where you are. I don't know why it won't tag onto you. Well, we'll watch the bot lane here for a moment. I'll double check to make sure if there's any other keys that maybe I should try.
I think if I'm... maybe try 2 instead of 1.
2?
I think I was for second for this.
Yeah, it's not.
No.
No, it didn't work. But if I turned off the number lock key, I can use that to move around the map, which is better than using the arrow keys. So,
in the game.
constantly almost channeling, and we do get a bit of channel on blue here as Garrosh gets flipped into the wall.
Actually, they gave it up. They get it up to 48% here. Constant rolling, as you said. So far, better hand, the upper hand on the side of Viper again, but Diablo in trouble now. He's gonna find his grave, and Zero is getting killed too, so this is 2 for 2. And probably some beacon progress in favor for Sky5 if they decide to do so.
Yeah, there's not... There we go. In the top lane now here, Rexar trying to keep Imperius off of his face using Misha to get that stun. We're about to see that advanced targeting get that third circle as well. Also, I do want to point out, Jaina at 18 globes, gonna get that extra 10% here very soon.
Indeed, yeah. Almost done there. Also Groundbreaker, almost done. Only 3 more, which you can collect pretty quickly on this map.
Garrosh kind of stuck up here, just has the Phoenix with him, as the team is a bit split, but...
Yeah, the team split. I mean, Garrosh takes it like a champ, but he needs somebody behind him who actually returns some damage, because he can't do it himself.
Right. And there's that 30, so the third laser beam is coming out. Phoenix losing all of those shields, and Blind coming out, but didn't quite hit the Phoenix, as Groundbreaker does get that level 1 quest completed.
And combat advantage coming out for Phoenix, more damage to slow targets, whereas plenty of slow on the side of Sky5. So he should be able to get a lot of value here, especially with the third circle. Getting basically another hit at anybody who is slowed. And 98%, it's just hanging there, it's so close. Sky5 may want this last 2.
Yeah, and Wipe Them again, finally getting back onto the board with this percentage. And just so much team fighting, just yeah. Constant. A little bit of poke here, a little bit of poke there.
You have to go to the top lane a few times just to like relax your eardrums a little bit.
Right. I should probably turn down the sound effects a little bit. I keep meaning to do that.
That's fine.
Quite an interaction from Garrosh there into the
Oh, that's interesting. Ophir is going to fall here. And this might be the missing 2% if Sky5 is able to reset.
Yeah, but Apple Mike and Garrosh very low there, had to pull back. The Bloodthirst is going to get Garrosh a bunch of health as he throws the Diablo, but the silence coming out from Stukov might be enough to keep Diablo alive, although Phoenix trying to come in. And ultimately it is going to be a completed Zerg wave for Sky5.
And chat is pretty confident that Imperius should lose hard against Rexar here, but so far he's doing a pretty decent job. I mean, they channeled, I don't know how much it was, but top lane was, I mean, if anything, even, if not even a slight advantage for Imperius.
Oh, Wrath of Angiris, though, up in the top lane here, pulling Rexar back. Not quite far enough to get any damage from the Zerg, though.
No, Goliath's still standing. 3-2 kills, the Zerg waves are being cleared on both sides. Neither team got like too much value from it. Both lose a couple of front towers. No real damage to the fort. I guess there's a little bit of damage on the bottom fort.
Well, for what it's worth, it would appear that Quan Finnegan agrees with you as far as the value of Meme Beam on this map. As we did get Purification Salvo.
I'm a big fan of that. Whoever is that Phoenix, let me check. I cannot pronounce that. Gwen Finneon. You are the man. You play the Phoenix, I would.
There you go. You've heard it from Tootie. So we've got both teams working on their camps now.
I should maybe add that I am currently a support player.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, Quan losing those shields to the Imperius, and Wrath of Angiris misses on the Bear. Was the only real potential target there. And it's not a short cooldown. I mean, it's, what, 80, 90 seconds? 80 seconds. Yeah. So, other ults coming out here, we've got Ancestral for Rhaegar, Ring of Frost, the Warlord's Challenge, and the Bestial Wrath for Sky5.
Interesting new landing situation here. Phoenix now in the bottom against Imperius. Needs to watch out actually to not die here. There comes the Purification Salvo, but not even needed, as Imperius dies to minions. And it's a lot of minions actually. All of these are archer minions if I see that correctly.
Yeah, and 4 of them are currently attacking that fort, so it's not going to go all the way down because there's a fair number of minions on their side anyway, but taking a lot of damage. They got more damage value out of that Phoenix minion wave than they did out of the Zerg wave.
That's yeah, that's actually true.
All right, there's that fort looking to get onto the Cassia, the top of the
here comes Ring of Frost, and Cassia immediately lead.
And Diablo trying to get some lightning breath value there, does ultimately get the Garrosh kill, but Jaina taking out Diablo, losing those souls, and he's coming back. Wrath of Angiris pulling Phoenix into the back.
Oh, can they get a kill here? But I don't think so. Imperius. I mean, that was...
Feels
like
like
a nice attempt.
Yeah, feels like an Artana swap, kind of.
Yeah, maybe should have used it as an escape and just go into the mid lane area, like the missing mid lane.
So it's 4v4, no Garrosh. Yeah, no Garrosh here. So this is interesting, but okay. Well, they get the kill, but
well, okay, yeah, the bouncy ball secures 2. One of them is Misha, and with the last shot, they secure a kill on Diablo, and Jaina is down to 60 hit points. What's happening?
Wow! Holy cow! And then they get the kill onto Cassia with the third circle of the laser beam.
The third circle is the best circle.
Monkus is over here in chat going, I don't understand what's happening here. What division are we playing in? Like, he didn't say that. I'm adding that. because I'm positive that's what he's thinking. He's probably going, is this Div D? This feels Div D. But Orphea getting thrown in. A little bit questionable on the whole team fights here, but what happens to him?
Here comes again Wrath. Oh, Ring of Frost misses completely, and there's the second kill in favor of Sky5, and they're going strong with this boss here. They're gonna secure another fort, and Beacon during this whole time is channeling.
Yeah, they're already almost halfway there. They're gonna get the siege camp here that's gonna give them that armor reduction as well in the lane of the Zerg. And that Zerg wave is only 15 seconds away, roughly.
Yeah. Maybe even hold on that camp a little bit longer. Make it even nastier.
So they're gonna elect to take a breather for a moment, and Garrosh gonna face check that bush into Imperious. I'm surprised that was not a throw.
Yeah, that looked like a throw to me.
Yeah, that should have been a dead angel, but that's okay. And I don't.
So the
think they have
model is
siege,
down.
right? No, they do still have the siege. Just one of them, I think. But yeah, getting the damage onto that wall. Let's see what Wipe Them Again can do here, as level 16s are online too.
All ultimates are up. There comes the taunt. And immediate blow up on the Imperious. No chance here, but we do get a kill on Misha. Will it be enough, however?
Well, it's not enough to save their keep.
Keep this down for sure. And it looks like Sky5, they have enough. For now, they are grouping around this camp here.
And so it's a 5v4. They have 16 advantage, so this is probably fine. Diablo getting thrown away. Just making sure they can secure that camp, as Phoenix is very low on health.
And that was a very brave attempt by Wipe Them Again to actually check if they contest here. It reminded me a little bit of the Infernal Shrines, where they decided to stick around for a 3v5 action.
Right, yeah. So Darabo in chat, yeah, I think actually that was in a way ultimately a zoning ring, you know, because Imperious, if he keeps walking, goes into the ring. If he doesn't keep walking that direction, he dies anyway. So ultimately, it does secure the kill, although you're right, it looks a little bit like Jaina just whiffed everything. And now they're coming in, looking to come in above, maybe try to get a gank here.
So the Lightning Blast will be up in 3 seconds for Diablo, which will be a pretty big tool here for the defense if some opportunity happens. But Imperious in the top lane, so this will be a 5v4 in the defense here. I'm not sure that's actually needed, because top lane, what are you gonna lose there?
Good night, Orphea. But spreading the ball lightning like it's a living bomb up in here.
And Sky5 just looking for a second keep here. Imperious is still busy in the top lane, doing solo laner things.
We'll take a look. Yep. Still up here. 80% health, roughly. And Sky5 now has both keeps down. And it looks like they're heading to the boss. And I mean, I think...
Boss is back up again.
Yeah, this boss might even be enough to win them the game if they just march with it. Especially if it goes top lane and they grab that siege camp as well.
Yeah, the beacons are up, like Phoenix could teleport over a wall here, somebody else goes to the other beacon, but you even channel while you are doing this, so...
Yeah, this is
like,
the time Wipe Them Again has to do something. They cannot let them get all these camps in the beacon. They just lose.
I don't think it's just something, I think they need to get the stellar defense here. Basically wiping the enemy team if they want to stay in the game.
Well, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case here, as Purification Salvo finishes off Cassia, and Phoenix with the Imperious kill above, and now the Orphea kill. And this should be a quick march to the core, as well as a 2-0 victory for Sky5, is how it looks.
Sky5 walking down the victory lane here in the top. And the boss already on the core, and like even if they suddenly die all 5 of them here, Berserk Wave will do the rest. And that's it. Sky5 takes it home 2-0.
Wow. You know, if you would have asked me at the beginning of this matchup who would win the game, I would have said that I thought that Wipe Them Again had a fantastic showing last week, and that they would, you know, bring it hard this week. But it looked almost like a different team from, you know, what they played last week, and Sky5 really played quite a good game in both of these on both of these maps.
Yeah, and I think you're absolutely right. And if I look at the lineup, it is actually quite a little bit of a different team. We had Hound of Havoc in round 1. We had Kuroa, who we haven't seen at all tonight in round 1. And he was a tank player. So and Sovereign got banned out of his Mephisto, right? So getting your play of the week showcased somewhere maybe not so great after all.
Yeah, right. Let's see if we can get Quan or somebody in from Sky5 for an interview. Let's go ahead and hop up to lobby 3 since they've got a whole lot of people in lobby 1.
What's going on there?
So, chat, if you've got any questions that you'd like to ask of Sky5 after that game, go ahead and post them in chat. We'll try to catch those and ask them during our interview here. And
I found it.
Apple Mike, welcome.
Hello.
How are you feeling after that, buddy?
Refreshed.
Refreshed. That is a great way to start this. So I gotta tell you, I want to start off right out of the gate. I wasn't expecting you, but that's okay. I'm glad you're here.
Oh, who are you expecting?
Whomever. Just wasn't.
Okay.
Nobody said, "Hey, I'm sending so and so." Tracer game 1, man. Like, I was a little hesitant when I look at that comp, and Tootie and I are. Who's taking the solo lane? Is it gonna be Jaina? Is it gonna be Sylvanas? Like, what's going on with this? And Munkus in chat was like, "Oh, is Tracer taking this?" And buddy, you played the hell out of Tracer.
Yeah, it was a little rough. That first go, he landed his shield on me, and since he spec'd into it, it just chunked my health. I had to go home. So he figured he'd take the top camp, and I guessed right. Showed up when he was at an 8th health and got lucky and killed him. Took the camp, and yeah, it turned out really well.
That was a power move right there.
Yes, I believe, if I remember correctly. Hold on, I'm trying to remember the quote. That took a lot of balls. Is that what you said, Tootie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, me going in?
Yeah.
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 Like even checking on that, like.
Yeah, well, especially because I had just backed, right? So I had a long journey to get there, and it might have been for nothing. It's I just figured he was missing, so I was like, where would I go if I was missing?
And you picked the right place, especially because that was the bottom lane, if I remember correctly, for that first Punisher, and so it made sense for them to get that. And it was we're counting down the time 2:26, and here comes this Tracer from the top left of the screen.
Yeah, we did have the conversation about the soul lane between Silva and I. We were trying to decide who should do it, and for some reason in my head I didn't think about Rag. I kind of thought it was Thrall in my head as far as whether I could do it or not. And I remembered I do pretty well against Rag as long as I dodge the shield and the meatball. As long as I just dodge all the abilities, it's good.
Yeah, exactly right. So, first game you guys had, let's see, you guys did not pick the first map, right?
We did, yeah.
You did? Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I had it backwards. I was thinking backwards. So you guys picked Infernal Shrines.
Yeah, it's a map we really like.
That's what I was going to ask. Obviously, it was your first pick for the map. So we were talking earlier about with your bans against Mephisto. Did you guys see that highlight reel from Nexus Edge this week? Is that like where some of this ban onto Mephisto comes from, or just traditional?
I didn't see it, but it's possible that our scouter did, because I know that they wanted to get rid of it, and it's also it seems like it's the only thing he plays. So I think it was more that, kind of get rid of the strongest thing, and that kind of helped.
Sure. And so when you guys were drafting and you picked that Tracer, was that specifically in response to Rag, or was that a plan from early on? Because I know you said about Thrall, but
yeah. So I was showing Tracer when the match started. As soon as we got into the queue, into the draft, it's something that we like to pull out, and it's really helpful because then I can kind of flex a little bit with it, being last pick. It's a nice comfort pick for me, and it's really helpful because a lot of these teams, try to ban out, my Rhaegar, so it's nice to have that available.
But Rhaegar and Tracer is a little bit of a jump here, so I mean we noticed it in the game that you road swapped. So is that something do you have even defined roles in your team at all, or is it just like, hey, I like to play these 3 heroes, and then you piece it together as it fits?
Yeah, I mean, long story short, I used to be assassin main for a long time. Then we lost a healer for a long time, so I kind of filled the role of healer. And so it's nice because I can kind of go back and forth between the two. But of course, my hero pool's limited because of it. But yeah, those two, they just fit, really well. They fit my play style. They allow me to, kind of shot call from the front a little bit alongside the tank. So yeah, they are very different for sure. But I do play them a little similarly. I take the bite on Rhaegar as my build, so
And actually, one of my teammates asked me once, why is it that all the support players love to play Tracer when they not play support? And I told him, it's because support players have to dodge shit all day long anyway, so why
That's
not
true. I never thought about it like that. But I also like Zarya, and then I have to stand in the stuff, so it's... I don't know if I could put a finger on it.
Well, Munkus from chat wants to ask a question. He says, what teams are you on the lookout for in Div A, and what heroes are you worried about facing? Now, we don't necessarily have to go into any concerns you have over specific players or anything, but are there any heroes that you've noticed maybe since the patch seem a little bit higher priority that are a little bit more problematic?
Yeah, I mean, I know Chen's definitely a consideration now that wasn't before the rework and before the movement speed change. Definitely somebody we never banned or even thought about. And I think the other big ones, I know we like to get rid of some of the mages. KT is always a pain. I know he's suffering a little bit, but I hear his win rate's up because that bomb spread. So people spread it a little faster with that movement speed change.
That's a good point.
But as far as teams, yeah, we have our dedicated scouters on the team, so I don't know as much, embarrassingly to say, but I can ask them. I could do a lifeline.
I'd like to phone a friend. Yeah, I mean, no worries. Just if you had any teams that you had played against or that you were interested in playing against or that you thought were really strong in your division, if you're familiar with that, great. Regen has 2 teams in Division A, Ghost and Retro. You're certainly welcome to drop those names if you just want to.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't ever, worry about a specific team all the time. It's more just if our team is playing well together, and we're a newer team in terms of we had a lot of turnover over the years, so it's nice to get synergy with some of our newer players.
Sure. I've got one other question for you, and then Tootie, if you've got anything else you'd like to ask. But
Go ahead.
What is your? Do you guys have any pre-game rituals that you do? Not necessarily crazy witchcraft or anything like that, but do you go rip a couple of Storm League games, or everybody chugs a pint, or what's the deal for you guys?
Yeah, so I don't think we have any strange traditions. We definitely like to warm up. I think I'm sure that's probably normal. Maybe it's not. I hate going in cold, so we usually try to get on a little bit beforehand and get some games out. Yeah, we also try to, we try to play comps that we're going to play, since most of the teams, they recruit our match history anyway. And, just to kind of get the rhythms down. And we did a quick match right before that didn't go so great. So it was good we got some of our mistakes out of the way, which was great.
Good place for that. Tootie, what questions do you have?
I don't know, maybe... Did we talk about the second map already?
We did not talk much about the second map. Go ahead.
Okay, so did you expect the Brex's pick by your opponents? Did you have prepared something for Brex's specifically?
So I know for me, since it's not in the rotation, it's something that I don't think about as much anymore in Storm League. And I don't play a ton of, heroes that are super strong with it. And the Rexar pick, I know that, Goliath is, kind of just started picking him up recently, and he's just really impressive on it. And it helped because bottom lane, we were kind of at a stalemate for a long time. And, our kill potential is a little low early game versus the Diablo. And yeah, we just kind of held in there. We were very patient. I made a little misclick and got flipped over to the wrong side of town. But besides that, it was a pretty patient game, pretty clean game, which was good.
I believe that's the moment that chat said that you had engaged hard mode on Rhaegar.
Yeah, I love the skin, by the way. Yeah, he's just. I just love it. I just love being aggressive, and the cool thing is, the build rewards it by giving my team more heals. So even though it looks like I'm just being, aggressive for the sake of it, it really helps. I mean, I out heal every enemy healer I play against, and it's really nice to have that extra cushion of heals for the team, because we tend to take a little bit of damage, and Quan specifically, but he likes to deal the damage. So if I have the extra healing, he can stick through it, and we can get those kills.
Anything else, Tootie?
No, not really. I think Brexit was very clean by you. Very well done. I mean, as you said yourself, it's not a rotation right now, so you don't see it that often more. I thought, oh, here comes Wipe Them Again with the Wipe Them Again special with the Brexit pick, and but you said no. You shut the door and you threw them out. So it's well done.
Yeah, I thought you guys did really well with your camp rotations in that map. And being mindful of where they were, what they were doing. There was one throw that, or I guess one face check from Garrosh as you guys were rotating up to the top lane, and Imperius was just hanging out in that bush, and Tootie and I both were like, how did that not turn into a kill? Like, he just walked away. But
Yeah.
It happens. You don't expect somebody to be there, whatever. But what about that boss play? That first boss play. It's 4v4. You guys back away. They show up, and you win it because they don't come onto the play, but onto the point. But what are your comms like? How do you make the decision that you're not walking away from that when they're coming in?
Yeah.
Still?
So it was a rough spot because Rexar was on it, and I don't know. So Rexar can't hold. He was trying to cap something earlier, and it didn't go through. So I wanted to make sure that they couldn't come in and just kind of knock Misha off of it. And so I went in just to kind of, give a little bit of cushion, get some slows down, and they decided to focus me. And I almost got out. One bouncy ball from Cassia hit me on the way out. But yeah, I just wanted to zone a little bit. I was surprised they didn't come in, because we had the same numbers, at that point, I guess. So,
and you had no Garrosh. Garrosh was dead at that point.
Yeah. So I just figured, I'd step up forward. If I died, the boss would be definitely worth it. And so it worked out. And then they turned around and got some more kills while I was dead, which was great.
Yeah, I think you guys got 3 kills out of that. 2 or 3 kills for sure. Because then the boss lane just pushed really hard. So.
Yeah, bosses are always tough. You want to make sure that you're not taking too much damage from the boss, but you also have to position so that they can't just knock you off it. And it's a mixed... It's definitely a tough scenario. We've had it go wrong for us. We've had some people fighting the enemy team and some people finishing the boss. And I think it's important just to do the same thing.
Yep.
More than anything, whether it's right or wrong.
Yeah, for sure. Spartacus does want to call out. I just wanted to mention his response here. He says it was a moment of #does not compute, #why is he here? And that's fair. He was kind of entirely by himself at that moment, so it was a little surprising, I imagine.
There's enough really good throws to make up for it, so I'm okay.
Yeah, totally fair. Well, good deal. Tootie, if you don't have any other questions, then I think we can go ahead and give you the floor for shoutouts here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I know nice to have Goliath with us, filling in. Alan's not able to make it with us here tonight, so great to have a really strong player in our back pocket. We've always kind of had weaker subs, and so it's nice to have somebody that can kind of hang with us at our level. It's really impressive, especially the switch. I mean, he switched. He went from Stukov to Rexar, which I would argue is a bit of a wilder change than mine from Tracer to Rhaegar. And he just does it well, holding it down. Spot, really pulling the Garrosh together. We had some trouble with it, early in the kind of off season. So nice to see it really coming together and making some great calls and some great throws. And then Furl dealing with the movement speed change. Shout out to him. All his mages were nerfed, so he has kind of the hardest thing to recover from in that regard, and I don't envy it. I played a mage in a brawl, and it was not so easy to land things. And then Quan, shout out to Quan for being Quan, and for what does Quan do? Yeah, Quan actually, he's the one who brought our team together, and he did all the recruiting, and so shout out to him for that. Without him, we wouldn't have the team we have today.
Also,
I do have to say, you did miss a person on your team.
Which one?
Spartacus?
Yeah, I said Spot. I said he played Gary.
a spark.
Did I just completely miss that, Tootie?
No, he abbreviated it.
Oh, I said Spot.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Fair, no, that's fair. That's fair. Okay.
I called him by his nickname.
No, that's totally fair.
The
I
nickname
completely
of
just
his nickname.
yeah.
I would never leave out Spot.
Fair enough. All right. Well, good deal. Thank you very much for joining us here, Apple Mike. We appreciate you stopping by and doing this quick little chat with us. It was a fun game to watch, and good luck in the rest of your season.
Yeah, thank you guys for casting. It's always great to have it.
Our pleasure.
Problem.
Have a good night.
You as well.
See ya.
Alrighty. Well, so Tootie, that's going to be the end of our cast.
It is. It's sad, but it has to be
Yeah.
end at some point. Unless you can find another game for us to cast.
I mean, technically speaking, I do have a couple of replays that we could do, but but it is a little bit late. It's almost 1 o'clock, and of course, for you, it's approaching the next day. You're getting close to the future there. So let's go ahead and wrap this up here. Real quick, let me show my schedule for tomorrow. Hopefully that pops up. Yes, it did. So in case you are looking for some casting tomorrow here, there are numerous games that are being played tomorrow, but I'll be doing some replay casts in the afternoon at 2 o'clock. We've got a live cast, which is the Painfully Average versus I think it's supposed to be Frankfurters, which was FF and the Pancakes in D East there, and then my team Regen Phoenix is going to be playing tomorrow night at 9:30, and you can catch that at twitch.tv/dbsmiley. So now that I've gotten my commercial out of the way, Tootie, what do you want to say to the folks at home?
Thanks for having me here for very spontaneous co-casting. I came home like 1.5 hours ago. I was like, hey, somebody want to make something happen here, getting a co-cast, and then I remembered, hey, Aero, you wanted a co-cast, so let's make this collaboration finally happening.
For sure.
And so that's pretty cool. Like Aero had zero problems with it, so that's nice. Congratulations to Sky5, who are now tied for 2nd place in their division, so that's pretty good. And yeah, thanks for watching to everybody sitting in front of the screen right now.
Great. And do you have Twitter or anything that you want to, let everybody know where they can find you?
Yeah, so I'm casting also sometimes myself, if I can find the time for it. Otherwise, I'm sometimes streaming our trainings, not too often because then everybody will figure out what we do. It's on twitch.tv/2dmos. So 2D like you see on the screen right now, and then an MOS behind it.
Which, coincidentally, just showed up under your name so that people can confirm how to spell it, just in case.
It's the magic of technology.
Right? You say it and it happens. Well, good deal. Everybody, you can find me on Twitter at Warrior Aero. I don't really ever go there, but other than to post my upcoming schedule for the week, so you can check out what's going to happen there. And week 2 coming to a close in NGS, so if you haven't gotten your week 3 matches scheduled, make sure you do that. Make sure you are keeping up to date with your flex matches. Most of the divisions you should have at least 1 flex match on schedule by now, because a lot of them have 4 flex matches to be done, and certainly if you have 2 or 3, try to get those done anyways. But I guess that's the last thing that I'll throw out at you guys. Everybody have a great night. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you up here tomorrow in a few hours, I guess.
Bye bye.